Hey toy fans, Aaron here, and since it is almost Christmas, I thought we'd take a look at the Holiday Edition C-3PO and R2-D2. This guy was released 2002 as a Walmart exclusive, something like maybe around $14-15 if I remember correctly. It wasn't that expensive. So let's head to that table and check this one out. And looking at the packaging, the holiday theme definitely carries through this entire thing. Do my best to avoid the light glare here, but obviously this is a domed front bubble for the front of the package itself, and then flat on the back. And on the inside there is a Christmas card held in there. The background of it is pretty much like it is on the Christmas card, minus C-3PO and R2-D2 being printed on the back there, since you do have the figures sitting out front here. Down at the bottom, of course, you got your Star Wars logo, and then that this is a holiday edition release. And then on the back of the packaging, very nice kind of wintry mountainous scene here. Star Wars logo again, holiday edition, along with a brief kind of description about this set, what inspired it and all. Looking at this out of the packaging, I gotta say first, I do not have the Christmas card handy to show here. It's packed away in one of my bins so that it wouldn't get damaged, so it would take me until next Christmas to find the card probably. So this is what we're gonna have to look at. But overall, this is still a pretty nice display piece out of the box. If you did have the card, or if I did have it, it would slide into the back and still provide that backdrop. It would just have a large C-3PO and R2-D2 on it though. As you can see, it comes with obviously the two figures in their Santa and reindeer outfit. And it has this very nice base there that they can stand on. It's got a couple pegs to hold the figures. On the front of it, Holiday Edition just stamped on there. No date or anything. And then along the back side, there's a little slot there that you can slide that holiday card in for a display. And then on the base of this, it's kind of keeping that 1970s theme with a little rug and wooden floor there. Very nice paint job and stuff to that. It's looking really good. Looking at each figure individually, I'll start first with R2-D2 because, well, no particular reason. The figure itself is looking pretty good, but that is really not why you're picking this up. It's because he comes with antlers attached to his head. I will say though, it's just a little side note, the card actually had kind of the design of these antlers reversed. The little light port was on the screen left side of R2's head instead of on the right side. Is that a light port? Is that a projection port? What is that thing? Anyways, little nubbin that should be sticking out. It's proper on the figure here, but it was reversed on the card. Nevertheless, antlers are pretty cool looking. They are attached, they're glued on, so you're not removing them or anything. Sculpting of the antlers, though, looks really great. I kind of say these look more like tree branches than deer antlers in the sculpting of it. Maybe that was the point. Again, since I can't reference the card, I'm not entirely certain, but nevertheless, I'm going to go with great sculpting to it and definitely a nice wash to it, so it really brings out the texture of the antlers. The overall design of the figure, though, I mean, it's somewhat new, and I'd struggled with this. I looked through the figures that I have. Some of it seems close to the R2-D2 with all the little arms and stuff that came included on the freeze frame card, but yet he doesn't have the peg holes to put things in. So while some design elements of the figure are shared with other R2 versions that have been released, this is kind of somewhat of a unique figure still. But the chrome dome of the figure is looking really good. I like the blue is painted in nicely. And his little eye port there, he does still maintain the clear plastic on the top of the dome so that you can get a little bit of a glow there through the front. The sculpting of the body's looking pretty good. You got all the little design elements in there that you would expect of R2-D2. For the most part, all the little blue bits are even painted in pretty nice. You know, maybe just a little bit of runs here and there off the edges, but overall it is pretty good looking. There's a little scratch or something, or maybe it's silver paint. It's really hard to tell on the side of his left leg. It's not there on the one I have on the packaging, and you know, this one's been out of the packaging now for what, 15 years, so it's either a scratch that it developed on time, or maybe it was just an error. Who knows? It's really hard to hold it against the figure at this point since it's been so long. So yeah, aside from the antlers, it really is just your pretty basic R2-D2 figure, but still looking pretty good nonetheless. As for the articulation of the figure, I mean, it's an R2 unit, so not much happening, but you do still get the swiveling of the head. And then each leg does swivel around as well. No third leg at the bottom. And then even with these big antlers on the front of his head, he still holds his own, stands up nicely without any base or pegs to help him out. Moving on to C-3PO, this here is, of course, an all-new figure. And I think he's looking pretty good with that Santa outfit on. I like the way that gold really pops out from underneath it. You know, and of course, once upon a time, we used to get these nice, shiny C-3PO figures, which we just don't get anymore. Oddly, this entire figure is not done in that vac metallized gold material. Through that chest area shown underneath the collar, it's just painted gold there. That's hard to say why it was done that way. And same with the hands. They're just painted gold. It would have been really cool if the whole figure could have been done in that shiny gold. Maybe it's because the coat was also molded onto that piece. As far as the head, it seems like it's kind of separately molded and then just glued on or something. Looking in at the head area, it's a pretty good sculpt to C-3PO. Maybe not the best paint job with the eyes and stuff. They kind of looked, I don't know. The eyes kind of look a little weird to me. The Santa hat's got a nice mold to it, and for the most part, it's painted pretty good. I gotta say, I'm really surprised with the set as a whole, how well the white has stayed white since I've had these out on the shelf for, like I said, 15 years now. So the figure's holding up pretty good over time. Through the chest area, the coat has a very nice molding to it. Through the arms and the jacket itself, you got a few little wrinkles sculpted in there for the jacket. Definitely giving it a little bit of depth, dimension, kind of that puffy look. I will say one difference here with this figure than what was on the card is that he's holding the Santa mask like on a set of strings. It's kind of just dangling there between his two hands. And in this case, the beard and stuff is just being held in one hand. Doesn't really bug me. I mean, it's still a cool looking figure. The belt through the coat area here has got a great paint job to it, staying very much within the lines of it. You got the belt loops of the red coat still staying nice and red. Even that white fur along the collar and the wrist area and the bottom of the coat, painted very nicely, really following that little fur line and stuff. Maybe a little slop here and there. Definitely, obviously, on the one side, there's a little brush of white there. But still, overall, really sharp looking. And then the leg area's got some great sculpting in there. So Santa C-3PO is looking pretty good overall. As far as the articulation for C-3PO, joints are a little tight, but that head does move side to side. Arms, oddly, for some reason, they don't move. I mean, it's got lines sculpted in there. It seems like it would be able to, but no movement there. But then at the leg area, I mean, you get a little bit of movement. That joint is maybe up about here, so that coat really comes down and limits it. For me, it doesn't bug me the articulation is so limited, because really, I mean, this is just, it's about the Christmas theme to it. It's not playability, it's just a display piece. So overall, this really is a cool set. I mean, who doesn't want a little holiday spirit thrown into their Christmas figures? And since only a total of 4 Christmas figures eventually got released, this still stands out as something that's rather unique, especially in a toy line, like me, if you got a room full of toys. Just to have a little random C-3PO and R2-D2 dressed up in the holiday spirit's pretty cool. And so that wraps up these look at these figures. For all of you out there, whatever holiday it is you're celebrating this time of year, I hope you have a great one. And if you're not celebrating a holiday, I just hope you have a great Monday. Thanks for watching.